Many people aren't enrolling because they mistakenly think this is only for first responders. Well, let's be clear right now. That fund is also for a lot of other people. 300,000 downtown office workers, 25,000 downtown residents, and 50,000 students and teachers. And that's even if you're currently healthy. So let Barish and McGarry help you enroll. Go to 911awards.com. That's 911awards with an S.com. Barish and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
WINS FM in HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Well, it's a chilly morning, but AccuWeather says we will warm up, that is, to a high of 48 today with a decent amount of sun after this chilly start. Tonight, increasing clouds and not so cold, low 44. Tomorrow, looks like it'll be cloudy for the most part with rain at times and a high of 55. Still gray skies for Wednesday as we reach about 59, maybe some leftover rain around. We're hoping for a little sunshine to return on Thursday with a high of 52. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Sharon Barnes Waters, our service aide this morning. Walter Geis, our senior writer. Jim Maloney is at the editor's desk. I'm Donna Vaughn.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, clear and 36, 8 o'clock. I'm Glenn Shuck, and here's what's happening. Concern growing over the pediatric virus RSV. Hospitals in our area feeling the strain now. In some areas, 50% surge in patients in just recent weeks. A Jewish man, his 7-year-old son, the target of a drive-by BB shooting on Staten Island. Police investigating as a possible hate crime. The MTA, what to do? As they warn of fare hikes, they say they need the cash because ridership's still not recovered from pre-pandemic, but they don't want to cut service either. Here's some good news. Looks like gas prices will continue to drop a bit through the holiday season. We'll tell you why, based on an OPEC meeting. The tax fraud trial against the Trump Organization here in New York City should be in the jury's hands at some point today. Sports, the Jets, well, they lost to the Vikings on the road. Giants and Commanders, a tie 2020 at MetLife. Mets lost, and the Knicks got a win. AccuWeather mixture of sun and clouds today will warm up to a high of 48. News time, 8:01. Let's get you the latest traffic and transit. Here's Karen Stewart.
We're going to the northern suburbs first. We have a brand new southbound Hutchinson River Parkway accident. It's just past Pelhamdale Avenue in Pelham. The left lane is closed, and there are some delays there. Good news in Jersey, that northbound Route 21 fluid spill at exit 10 for Van Houten Avenue, it's gone. They mopped it up, I guess. It's gone, that's all that matters. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. 40 minutes, GW Bridge upper and lower. The inbound Lincoln and the inbound Holland Tunnel are 45 minutes. Over at the East River, if you have a choice between the Throgs Neck and Whitestone, now I take the Whitestone because the Whitestone Expressway is good. The Cross Island Parkway is jammed trying to get to the Whitestone Bridge, but the bridge is going to be fine because if you take the Throgs Neck, we are packed on the Bruckner, on the northbound side of the Bruckner Expressway, exactly, trying to get up into Bronson Pelham Parkway. Things are really, really jammed there, so just avoid the Throgs Neck Bridge into the Bronx. Alternate side parking, that's in effect. We're sponsored by Jack Pocket. Have you seen how much Mega Millions and Powerball are? Jack Pocket lets you play your favorite official state lottery games on your phone. Use code RADIO for a free ticket, 18 or older to play. If you have a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY, and please visit jackpocket.com/TOS for full terms of service. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. Our next report, 8:11. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Wednesday news time, 8:02. Senator Chuck Schumer among those warning now about a surge in RSV, the pediatric virus that's putting a strain on many hospitals in the area, with a spike since Thanksgiving in these cases after families all had gotten together. Mr. Schumer calling on the federal government to probably step in here.
I am calling on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to be at the ready and take immediate action when New York City and Long Island hospitals say they need support to take this wave head on and keep our kids safe.
Dr. Charles Leanne at the same press conference with Schumer at Cohen's Hospital there at Northwell Health. They really have been up against it.
We're seeing where we would typically see 200 children in a 24-hour period. Day after day, we've basically been seeing 300 children a day.
Many states seeing this triple threat of RSV, COVID, and flu, including Jersey. The RSV numbers there in the Garden State, they started to spike right after Labor Day, hit 9,000 new cases a week by mid-November, we're being told. They have finally started to draw back a bit, but now the flu has been increasing in the last 10 days or so in New Jersey. Another possible bias attack here in the city, this one targeting a Jewish dad and his son walking in Staten Island. Our Roger Stern with the update.
It was clear that the dad and his 7-year-old boy are Jewish. They were wearing yarmulkes and were walking out of the Island Kosher grocery store on Victory Boulevard. That's when a guy in a black Mustang with no license plates fired his BB gun at the two victims. Both were hit but not seriously hurt. The guy took off. The NYPD Hate Crimes Task Force is looking for him. Roger Stern, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Myers Corner, Staten Island.
Wins News Time 8:04. MTA warning another fare hike could be coming. This time around, the agency pointing to massive budget deficits and an overall drop in ridership, and predicting that a subway or bus ride could get up to $3 by 2025. Now, MTA Chair and CEO Jano Lieber says it's a move he doesn't want to make, but unless the authority gets more government funding, either fare hikes, layoffs, or maybe even a cut in service. He spoke on Eyewitness News, ABC Channel 7.
The point is that everybody deserves mass transit service. It's like police, fire, and sanitation. We shouldn't judge it solely by what it costs. That's a part of it. In terms of what it costs the whole government, we need to provide it.
Among those pushing back against the potential hike, Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis. She will lead a rally against the idea this afternoon, and it's going to be a rally at the 77th Street subway station in Brooklyn. Now, on the other hand, looks like gas prices at least are falling.
Analysts expected that OPEC would agree to cut production again at Sunday's meetings, with less driving in winter and less driving in China because of COVID lockdowns. But it didn't. That brings
some cautious optimism
to Patrick DeHaan, head analyst at Gas Buddy.
The national average could be on course to fall under $3 a gallon by Christmas. That would represent a possible downside of 36 cents a gallon from where prices are today.
The average price already a little below that of a year ago. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Wednesday News Time 8:06. There's a new call now in the Justice Department for help in the fight against gun trafficking. Senator Gillibrand wants the DOJ and the Treasury Department to help implement a new method to help keep track of guns from their initial point of purchase.
Gillibrand says there were warning signs in several recent mass shootings, the gunman racking up credit card bills with gun and ammo purchases. In Orlando, Florida, the gunman spent $26,000. Now, Amalgamated Bank has created a merchant code for gun and ammo purchases. Gillibrand says Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will follow suit. Until recently, they've been lumped in with sporting goods stores or categorized as miscellaneous. And Five Mulalim, the director of Life Camp, which helps people affected by gun violence, says every little bit helps.
We have to be able to regulate them as we also are looking at those most marginalized and impacted.
Eileen LaPalmer, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Foley Square.
Wins News Time 8:07. Thousands still without power today in Moore County in North Carolina after attacks on two power stations there. Authorities are saying in both cases somebody pulled up in front of the substation and opened fire, damaging sensitive equipment.
The Moore County Sheriff's Department saying investigators are still working to determine a motive, but adding that the person or people responsible knew exactly what they were doing, calling the attack targeted. Power in Moore County may not be fully restored until as late as Thursday, an official for Duke Energy warns.
That's correspondent Nicole Skanga with the update. For a while, it seems, authorities are saying extra security will be provided at these substations and other nearby businesses. Off to Washington now, where the January 6th committee is getting ready to wrap up their work.
The American public will see a full report.
California Representative Pete Aguilar on CBS's Face the Nation.
Members are working each and every day, editing and looking at the documents that we will be putting out in accordance with House rules. We are preserving the important documents, and we're going to be transparent about this process.
Aguilar responding after the House's top Republican, Kevin McCarthy, said the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol should turn over all documents. McCarthy is expected to disband the committee when Republicans take control of the House in January.
Linda Kenyon with that story for us. Wins News Time 8:08. Jury deliberations expected to begin today in the Trump Organization's tax fraud trial. The company accused of paying rent and other bills as compensation for certain executives, including longtime Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg, but not declaring it on income taxes. Now, they've denied any wrongdoing, and their lawyers have accused that Weisselberg acted on his own. Now, Mr. Trump himself has not been charged in connection with this case. A lot of eyes on this tomorrow. That is the runoff in Georgia. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock has gotten some heavy hitters out with him yesterday to help him campaign against the Republican challenger. That would be Herschel Walker.
They talk about some folks being show horses and some folks being workhorses. Now you got a workhorse in.
Former President Barack Obama campaigned for Warnock on Sunday, joined by music legend Stevie Wonder. After about a week of early voting, more than 1.8 million people cast ballots. That's about a quarter of Georgia's active voters. Democrats are hoping for more breathing room and more power when building committees if they win that 51st Senate seat.
Christian Benavides with the story there. The latest polls do have Warnock slightly ahead. Again, voters will head to the polls tomorrow. Major early voting there, though. There's new concerns about the state of mental health among the men and women of the United States Navy in the wake of 4 sailors taking their own lives in less than a month at the Navy's Mid-Atlantic Regional Maintenance Center.
The command, which is assigned to repair ships on the East Coast, includes 1,200 sailors, about 500 of whom are on limited duty status for various reasons, including pregnancy, injuries, and mental health problems.
We know that these people have higher needs right now. They're in a higher stress situation.
After the first 2 deaths, the Navy ordered a mental health stand down and brought in Kayla Aristiva, president of a nonprofit counseling service, who delivered a grim report to the Navy.
Correspondent David Martin. Millions of Ukrainians facing a long winter of extreme hardship as Russia continues to attack the country's energy infrastructure.
In her song, liberation comes at a painful price. Russia has been pounding the territory it lost in a humiliating defeat just 3 weeks ago, making lives a misery for residents like Mikhailo Mikhailov. Half my house doesn't exist anymore, he says. Even the roof was destroyed. The violence has only pushed people here deeper into hunger. Residents now rely on food aid from local agencies.
Maybe some optimism for the Ukrainian people. Speaking over the weekend at the Reagan National Defense Forum in Simi Valley in California, the head of the U.S. intelligence saying the fighting in Ukraine has been running at a reduced tempo. When's news time? 8:11. Traffic and transit. Let's get you the update right away. Here is Karen Stewart.
All right, we're going to the Bronx. I don't want to either, but we're going to do it. Southbound Deegan after Westchester County line.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on this November. Thank you for tuning in on this December 5th, 2022 of Driving in the News. And yes, I got my car back. Thank you to my mechanic at Spruce Street Auto. And no, he's not sponsoring this video. He's just a mechanic that I trust. I don't want any other mechanic to take a look at this car. And thanks to him, I am now on the road once again, as Willie Nelson would say. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's Driving in the News, where our mission is to record history. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you on the next video.